I mean, Matthew, she got it exactly right there. It's no longer Trump or not Trump. It's a sliding scale of Trumpism. You look at this Pennsylvania race, far-right author Kathy Barnett. She did not get Trump's backing because he doesn't think she can win the general, but she is surging in the polls. The New York Times explains, quote, those who said they were voting for her said they were unaware or unbothered by her history of homophobic and anti-Muslim views. But her strong anti-abortion beliefs, Ms. Barnett calls herself, quote, a byproduct of rape, have been a key part of her appeal to white conservatives. What is her rise? What does her appeal say about how Trumpism exists beyond Trump, beyond his endorsements? The fact that you now have people like Donald Trump, Fox News, freaking out about someone like Barnett, not because she espouses these hateful views, but because they worry that she can't win.
Well, I'm just going to pick up where the party chair from Nebraska led off, which is this has always been, Trump has never been a cause of this. Trump has been a reflection of this. Yep. And the reason why Trump won the primaries in 2016 is he was the candidate that best reflected who the Republican Party voters had become. And I think that's what we're seeing, whether Donald Trump endorses a candidate or not. And this is one of those typical things where a monster has been released, which is the vast majority of Republican voters, and no one is in control of them, as Pennsylvania could show us on Election Day, even though a candidate endorsed espouses all the same views and all the same crazy theories and all the big lies. An even worse form of that may beat Dr. Oz in the primary. So to me, this is another exclamation point on what the Republican Party is and has become. It really has little to do with Donald Trump and much more to do with the path that the party has been on and where they're going on. It's only getting worse and worse and worse when you have half the party believe these things 5 years ago, and now 75 to 80% of the folks in the Republican Party believe these things today. So it's a party that has become totally outside the mainstream of American politics, outside the mainstream of American intelligence and reason. But I think it's a reflection that Donald Trump revealed this, and now they've taken on a life of its own, and he's losing control of it.
Yeah, Jane, NBC's Dasha Burns recently sat down with Barnett. I want you to take a listen to what Barnett had to say about January 6th.
I feel about January 6th the way the left feels about the summer of 2020, when you had Black Lives Matter and Antifa and other groups out there looting and robbing, and everyone was calling it mostly peaceful protests with buildings being burned down behind.
I mean, absolutely wild. So, let's put aside the inanity of that comparison. You have her, one of many Republican candidates out there, downplaying January 6th, promoting the big lie. You have similar candidates in your state. If you are Democrats, I mean, do you wait for the January 6th Commission to counter all of that in their public hearings, or do you have to be out there on the trail countering it door to door with voters?
As Democrats, we can no longer essentially just sit back. We have to go hard on the offense and put Republicans on the defense. We have to put them on the defense on wanting to ban abortions, even in cases of rape, and incest. And we also have to put them on the defense for supporting the insurrection. So essentially the day after the insurrection, they were all, texting each other saying that this was horrible. We got to do something about it. And then 2 days later, they're all waving the flag saying the insurrection was simply them showing their, true American patriot values. So we absolutely have to hit them, and we have to hit them hard. We often say that it's an important election and democracy is on the line, but now we're talking about women's fundamental rights to privacy and our fundamental rights to choice. We're talking about our kids' public schools. We're talking about our health care.